The other day we went to hang out with some friends and just enjoy fall and pick some apples, and while we were there we decided to press some fresh cider. I don't know if you've ever had unprocessed cider before, but the flavor is awesome. It's really hard to buy cider at the store, especially once you've tried the real thing. What's even harder is when you go in and you find one of those juices that says genuine apple cider, but it only contains 10% juice. If 9 out of 10 ingredients are something other than apples, can you really call it apple cider? I mean, for real, let's call it what it is. It's funny though, because don't we do the same thing with the label Christian? Oh, it's okay that 9 out of 10 parts of a person's life don't match up, but hey, they said a prayer when they were 7. Their life still looks, smells, and tastes like it did before, but they're in, right? But that's not what Jesus said. Jesus said the kingdom of God is like a man who sells all his possessions to get a rare pearl or a field containing treasure. Literally, everything else goes. Everything, because Christ is that valuable and that important to him. None of this 10% juice stuff, everything. See, when we pursue God with 100% of our life, we start to see right and wrong the same way that he does. The way we view right and wrong in the world is called a worldview. And when we look at things as right and wrong the same way God does, that's called a biblical worldview. Only 9% of Americans have a biblical worldview, which means that 91% of our culture sees right and wrong differently than God. With our students, it's only 3%. 3% of our students see right and wrong the same way that God does. This is why it's so important to understand what we believe and to know that what we believe is really real. As soon as we start boxing God up into only 10% of our lives, the world will come in quickly to fill the other 90. Watch any major motion picture, listen to any major song, read any major book, and you will see how our culture is mixing in ingredients to fill the other 90%. It can happen to any of us. Getting rid of the junk in our lives is almost never an easy or painless process. When God gets a hold of us, it's a lot like those apples that get pressed and ground up. It's a good thing that the cider tastes so good when it's done. God knows your heart. He knows if you're the real thing or just sugar water. The kingdom of God is like a man who gets rid of everything else so that he can attain 100% pure, freshly squeezed apple cider. A man who loves God with everything.